Oh, hello and welcome again. This afternoon, I'm investigating another one of our tractors. This is more of a so-called tractor, I think. This is a Ford 961 Powermaster. As you can see, she's a little bit worse for wear. Does have a little Freeman loader on it, which is nice. It is just an old trip bucket loader, but it'll save your back by quite a lot, I would think. Still 6-volt. I don't really know a lot about this thing, and it is certainly not my favorite tractor in the world. This is something that Dad bought after I left. This one has the pop-up 5-speed transmission, which that takes some getting used to. And it does have two things going for it that I'm aware of. Well, three. It's got some really good tires on the back of it. Another one is live hydraulics. The loader, the 3-point hitch, and the PTO are all live power. They well, I should say it's not a true live power system. It has a 2-stage clutch, so when you push the clutch down about halfway, you can stop the tractor and the PTO will keep running. On your hydraulics still function, which I think the hydraulics will actually function as long as the engine's running, pretty much. Leastwise, the loader will go up and down. I don't really know much about, as I said, I don't know much about this thing. A lot about these that I just really don't care for. You know, it's supposed to be like a 55, like a 45, 50 horsepower tractor, you know, PTO horsepower tractor. And I think it tested out at like 50 something PTO horsepower at Nebraska. Anyway, things I'm not a fan of. The underhung exhaust. I got the thing started up the other day, and you can see right here is your exhaust pipe down along the belly of the machine. Well, guess where your foot is? Right there. So, try and get an angle on this exhaust pipe. Footrest. Not a good combination. It does have the little clip here on the side of the hood for a vertical exhaust. Of course, the only problem with that is I will have to then build a new exhaust system for this, which is going to be hard to do because you have to have a double 90 and a length of pipe. It's you know, approximately a foot. They're just yeah, well, again, I'm 6'3" tall, so this thing just is not a comfortable tractor for me. There's no, the seat won't go back any farther. It doesn't raise up any higher. I'm gonna try and do something about that also. Hopefully I can do that without having to, okay, those brake locks. This is your parking brake. There's one of these little catches on each side. Anyway, the brake locks are not in the way, so that's good. I am gonna have to do something with that seat though, so that I can actually sit on this thing and use it, because again, it's what I have, so it's what I'm going to have to use basically. The loader, excuse my breeze generator here, but the loader all in all is in pretty good shape. It goes up and down. I did actually pick up a bucket of dirt with this thing yesterday, day before. No, it was Saturday, so it was the day before yesterday. And anyway, it lifted it. It did what it was supposed to do with that. Does have power steering. I don't think it really works, because it turns about the same way, engine off or on. Of course, I don't know how well they were supposed to work anyway. Little 4-cylinder Ford gas engine. As I said, it's got the pop-up 5-speed transmission, 2-stage clutch, so you do have a live PTO, and live hydraulics for your loader, and also I believe, well, I don't know whether that's live for the PTO or not, or live for the 3-point or not. It's probably also on the 2-stage clutch. I would guess Ford probably still drove this like they did on the old N-Series tractors, but I could be wrong. They did improve their draft sensing link here for the 3-point by this stage in the game over the N-Series, at least. They did something there. This tractor's never going to plow. I have, 4 or 5 sets of drag plows out there that I could pull with, well, let's see. That's already got a 1-bottom 2-way plow on it. That B up there, I have a disc plow for that Cub in its current state of disrepair. And I also have some that I can pull behind that F20. And there's an old H back at the house that needs an engine overhaul, but anyway, you get the idea. I've got plenty of plows. This thing is not going to have to plow. It does actually have a fixed drawbar. Again, nice improvement over the N-Series. I've never been a big fan of this particular the drop axle housing setup on these, but again, it is what it is. I have to use it. Its actual main problem is that this damn thing does not want to crank and start at all, which I have some. I'm pretty sure that battery cable is no good at all. It just feels broken about right there completely. So I could probably replace that. As far as that goes, I think I'll end up just replacing them all. I need to go, actually I'm getting ready to leave now to go to a tractor parts place and see if I can get something in order to improve this exhaust situation. I think once I get the poor little tractor to start by itself, and get the exhaust out from under my foot, I might be just a little bit happier with it. Still probably not going to be very happy with the thing just because of what it is. One of the inherent problems with these things is vapor locking, and I can show you why that is. Nobody else really did this, but here's your valve cover. This is your engine, so to speak. That's the fuel tank right there. The fuel line runs down through the exhaust manifold, and it's just in general a bad setup in my mind. being more used to the red tractor, I like it way better. But yeah, I mean, the fuel line, literally, let me go get a light, that'd be better. Now we have light, that should be better. But anyway, as I was saying, the fuel line literally comes right between the cylinder head and the exhaust manifold, right down through here and into the carburetor. So as long as it's flowing fuel, it's fine. But if you shut this thing off, it takes 2, 3, sometimes up to 4 hours to cool down enough that it will restart. I'm not sure that that's the original routing. Well, yeah, I am too, because there's the original metal line coming out of the shutoff valve, and it runs right straight down through there into that rubber hose into the carburetor. It's not a real good setup. You know, it was kind of made to be used and then be run all day and then parked for the night, I guess. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying before, this thing was supposed to be a 50-55 horsepower tractor. I didn't actually do a Nebraska test on the 961, which I found to be odd, but its next series back was the 960, which did have a Nebraska test, and of course I don't remember the details right now, but anyway, as I said, it was supposed to be a 50-55 horsepower tractor. It pulled that on the PTO. I don't remember the drawbar specs at all off the top of my head. But the Fords were never known, these style of Fords were never known for their drawbar abilities. Just because they're really light. And yeah, anyway. So these were manufactured from 1958 to 1962, which would have made this thing competition in sales anyway for an International and Farmall 460 and 560. Now, I've run 560s. Matter of fact, we used to have one here, and yeah, those tractors were pretty much of a beast. That 6-cylinder, the C263 gasoline engine, and then the 282 D282 diesel engine in those tractors was beyond potent and beyond useful. I mean, they were big, heavy tractors in comparison to this thing. They, you know, I don't know what the fuel consumption is on this, but judging by the size of that carburetor, it's going to like gas. Maybe not quite as much as would a 460 or 560, but nonetheless, it's going to like gas. And yeah, I've piddled with this tractor. It really, here, let me show you this, which I have, no idea of its history, but right here is a 4-foot bush hog, shredder, brush hog, whatever you want to call it, rotary cutter. How's that? And the other day when I first got that little Ford going, I took it out and started mowing down some weeds with it, and it was fine on flat, and it was fine on the little downgrade and stuff, but if you turned it uphill in good grass, it would just about stall out in first gear. So again, as I said, I didn't notice it running hot. I didn't see an excessive amount of blow by or anything like that. So I'm guessing the engine's pretty sound. It's not missing or anything. It seems to run out pretty good for what it is, but it just doesn't have any power. So yeah, this thing, like I say, I'm going to do as little as I possibly can to it, and take care of the couple items that I mentioned it won't crank. We're going to make some adjustment for that seat and do something with the exhaust. Other than that, I'm not going to do anything to it, and I'm just seriously in the market for a replacement for this thing. But yeah, excuse me for being color conscious, I guess, but I like red tractors. They work. As far as that goes, I like the later blue ones, these, a lot better. That works too. Even the John Deere green, and then there's the Oliver green, and both of those would be a major improvement also. But anyway, guys, you get the idea. I don't like this thing. I'm not going to put a whole lot of time and effort into it, and I really intend for it to leave soon. So anyway, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.